On the debate tonight, the cow menace in Uttar Pradesh seems to have spiraled out of control. First, you saw uniformed policemen turn Gau Rakshaks. Now, schools in Uttar Pradesh are turning into Gaushalas. School children in Uttar Pradesh's Bulandshahr were forced to study outside in the biting cold, while their classrooms have been turned into shelters for stray cows.
स्कूल टाइम पे जब हम यहाँ पर आए हैं तो ग्रामीणों ने जो है गाय अंदर बंद करके और ताला लगा दिया बाहर, इस वजह से बच्चे बाहर पड़ गए.
This is not a one-off incident. After Chief Minister Adityanath's ultimatum to round up all stray cows across the state, several schools are forcing students out of classrooms and turning classrooms into cattle shelters.
यहाँ पे घुसा दिए गए जिससे बच्चों की पढ़ाई आज बाधित हो गई और बच्चे दल में घुस तक नहीं पाए.
हम तो चाहते हैं कि इनके ऊपर कोई कार्रवाई करे और इनको लेके जाएं ताकि हम लोग पढ़ पाएं.
These are visuals from a school in Chandauli. Students are out, cows are in. In Bagpat as well, cows are seen freely moving around the school. And in Shahjahanpur, cows are once again herded into the school. Mirror now asks, is Chief Minister Adityanath prioritizing cows over little children? Has Uttar Pradesh's cow protection policy backfired? Let's debate.
Well, obviously, the animals should be looked after, but priorities are extremely important. There is a menace of stray cattle in the state of Uttar Pradesh right now. The farmers are very, very upset. There were reports even of farmers having roughed up a school teacher who wanted to take the cows out of the school because they're afraid that the cows will eat their crop. It's a valid fear for the farmers. But should the government come up with a perhaps better solution than locking these cattle up in government schools? Joining me on the show, Vijay Khaira is the media panelist for Uttar Pradesh BJP, Abdul Hafiz Gandhi for the Samajwadi Party, V.N. Rai, former DGP Uttar Pradesh, Rajiv Diani is with Swaraj India, bringing in the farmer's point of view, Gauri Muleki, animal rights activist, and Sharad Pradhan is a senior journalist. Mr. Pradhan, you've tracked Uttar Pradesh for a very long time, and to put this into perspective for us, Uttar Pradesh has always had a problem with stray cattle. This is not new. Is there a reason why these cattle, these cows are now winding up in schools? And how rampant is the threat to education across Uttar Pradesh right now?
Well, Faye, you know, the problem, it has become a menace essentially because there is a lot of politics behind the cow. It was earlier, people were not expecting votes in the name of cow. Today, the tragedy is that the ruling dispensation, after having failed to rake up passions in the name of the Ayodhya temple, you know, they've been trying all kinds of tricks. Now they've come to cow in the hope that this might convert into votes. And that is precisely the reason why this whole thing has turned into a huge menace. And for all you know, it may cost the BJP quite dear. Because the problem that was being reported from the rural areas is that they are grazing over the farm produce. And it is the small farmer who is affected, and he is the main voter. Because, you know, the bigger farmers, they have money, they have resources to put up fences around their farming estates. But for a small farmer whose entire livelihood, whose entire, you know, the annual food requirements are met, his family's requirements are met out of whatever is produced on his small land holdings that he owns. And I have been to villages where people are just cursing the cow. It is thanks to the BJP that the holy cow has been turned into a curse, an object of hatred by the people. Because it is, and you know, the way they are going about it, they seem to think that every cow that dies has been killed. Now, if you go on this premise, the problem begins much worse, and it has snowballed into an issue that today nobody wants to be seen around a dead cow. After all, cows are living beings. They have to die just as we humans die. And today, if you have somebody standing next to a dead cow, he is lynched.
Well, I want to ask this question of Rajiv Dhyani as well.
Nothing more.
Yes. Rajiv Dhyani joins us from Swaraj India from Lucknow. Mr. Dhyani, here's the question. From the farmer's point of view, what sort of menace is the stray cattle causing right now?
अपनी बात कहने से पहले मैं एक बात पर बड़ा दुख है मुझे कि हमें स्ट्रे काउज शब्द का इस्तेमाल करना पड़ रहा है, आवारा गायें। उस देश के अंदर जहां गायों को पूजनीय माना जाता रहा है, जहां गायें हमारी कृषि व्यवस्था का, अर्थव्यवस्था का आधार रही हैं, वहां पर अगर हमें गायों को आवारा इस तरीके से भटकते हुए देखना पड़े, बहुत दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण बात है ये अपने आप में। देखिए, ये जो संकट है वो किसानी के खेती के संकट से जुड़ा हुआ है। ये जो फिनोमिना इस समय हम देख रहे हैं बुंदेलखंड के इलाकों में, जहां पर बहुत अक्सर हमें सूखे का सामना करना पड़ता है वहां के किसानों को, वहां पर ये बड़ा कॉमन सा फिनोमिना रहा है। जब जब भी सूखा 2-3 कॉन्सेक्यूटिव ईयर्स में सूखा पड़ा है, हमेशा वहां पर अन्ना नाम की एक प्रथा अपनाई है किसानों ने। वो अपने दुधारू जानवरों को भी चारे के अभाव में छोड़ देते हैं। तो जिनको आज हम आवारा कह रहे हैं, बेसिकली ये जानवर आवारा नहीं बल्कि बेसहारा हैं, बेघर हैं और बेचारा हैं। और बेचारा कहने के लिटरल मायने है यहाँ पर कि चारा नहीं है, वे यहाँ बेबसी से ताल्लुक नहीं है, यहाँ चारा न होने से, उनके खाने का इंतजाम न होने के कारण किसानों को छोड़ना पड़ रहा है। तो ये जो बड़ा प्रश्न है ये किसानों की दुरावस्था से जुड़ा हुआ सवाल है। दूसरा सवाल यह है कि बहुत सारे प्रयास सरकार करती हुई दिख रही है, कोशिश कर रही है इस तरह की, लेकिन जो असल मुद्दा है, देखिए, जब तक हम कृषि को, आज की कृषि को जब तक इससे इनको रासायनिक पदार्थों को नहीं हटाएंगे, जब तक इससे ये जो इनपुट कॉस्ट उसकी बहुत ज़्यादा है, इसको कम नहीं करेंगे, खेती लगातार एक घाटे का धंधा बना रहेगा। आज की तारीख में जीरो बजट खेती का एक मॉडल हमारे सामने है, रासायनिक खेती के, जैविक खेती के और प्राकृतिक खेती के कई मॉडल हमारे सामने हैं। सरकारों को इसके लिए भी प्रयास करना चाहिए कि किसान इन तरीकों को भी अपनाएं, ताकि गाय और किसान का, गाय हमारी संस्कृति में पूजनीय क्यों है? क्योंकि वो हमारी अर्थव्यवस्था का, हमारी कृषि व्यवस्था का आधार रही है। यही एक प्रमुख कारण है। तो ये सब चीजें होनी चाहिए। गोचर की भूमि, गांव में पहले एक साझा जमीन हुआ करती थी जिसको हम गोचर की भूमि बोलते थे, गायों के चरने की भूमि। आज की तारीख में गोचर की भूमि आपको गांव के अंदर दिखेगी नहीं, उनके ऊपर लोगों ने जबरदस्ती कब्जे कर रखे हैं। इनसे मुक्त कराने के लिए क्या प्रयास कर रहे हैं? तो बहुत सारे बिंदु हैं जो आमतौर पर, जो अभी हालिया तौर पर जो नजर आया है लोगों को, वो जिस तरीके से ये सरकार जिस तरह से मुसलमान को गाय और मुसलमान के रिश्ते को कसाई और मुसलमान के रिश्ते से जोड़ रही है, हमें ध्यान रखना चाहिए कि मुसलमान का गाय से रिश्ता भारत के अंदर काऊ और बुचर का रिश्ता नहीं है, वो काऊ और गुजर का रिश्ता है। ये जो गुजर मुसलमान हैं, ये जो गद्दी मुसलमान हैं, ये जो घोसी मुसलमान हैं, हरियाणा के अंदर उससे लगे हुए राजस्थान के इलाके में जो पूरा मेवात का इलाका है, वहां की जो मेव है, ये लोग बेसिकली गोपालक हैं। तो इन गोपालकों के मन में डर बिठा दिया गया है कि साहब, जैसा कि अभी शरद प्रधान जी ने कहा कि कोई भी एक मुर्दा गाय के करीब अपने आप को देखना नहीं चाहता। इस डर के कारण भी बहुत सारे लोग गायों को छोड़ दे रहे हैं। तो ये बहुत सारे कारण हैं और इन पर कोई होलिस्टिक एक समाधान ही इसका हो सकता है। इस पर बिट्स एंड पीसेस में, टुकड़ों में इसका समाधान नहीं हो पाएगा।
जी, लेट्स टेक द क्वेश्चन टू विजय कायरा हु इज विद द बीजेपी। विजय जी, आप हमें बताइए, स्कूल के अंदर गाय को बंद किया जा रहा है और बच्चों को पढ़ने के लिए ना स्कूल है ना क्लासरूम है, राइट ऑफ एजुकेशन को आप लोग रिस्पेक्ट क्यों नहीं कर रहे अभी उत्तर प्रदेश में? अभी उत्तर प्रदेश का इस समस्या का हल क्या है?
पहली चीज तो यह है मैडम, दिस कंसेप्शन और आइडिया इज नॉट करेक्ट that the cows, sheltering the cows is being prioritized over the school or the studies of the students. Okay. I don't think this is absolutely incorrect.
Why is it incorrect?
If there are few incidences, listen to me, ma'am. If there are few incidences, because it's not being prioritized. कोई प्राथमिकता नहीं दी जा रही है कि गाय को रखने के लिए स्कूल की शिक्षाएं बंद कर दी जाए, इस तरह की कोई प्राथमिकता नहीं है। नो प्रायोरिटी ओवर दैट।
तो आप हमें बताइए विजय जी, क्या गाय को स्कूल के अंदर बंद किया जा रहा है?
आप बता रहे हैं ऐसा शाहजहांपुर में हुआ,
कुछ अलग इंतजाम किया है बच्चों के लिए? नहीं।
yes,
तो बच्चे कहाँ जाएंगे?
Your version is incorrect. Absolutely, your version is absolutely incorrect. Just listen to me, ma'am.
Yes.
You are not correct to say this, that this is being prioritized. ऐसा कोई शासन आदेश नहीं है। There are no such orders. If there is some incidence on the holiday when there was a Sunday and some abandoned cows, ऐसी गाय जो दूध नहीं देती हैं, ऐसा गौवंश जो बाहर था या किसानों की क्रॉप्स की परेशानियां हो रही थी, उन्होंने एक स्कूल में जाके उनको बंद कर दिया। अगले सुबह जब टीचर देखता है एंड द स्टूडेंट्स आर ओवर देयर इन द प्रीमाइसेस, अब क्या करेगा वो? उनको स्टूडेंट्स को अंदर नहीं ले सकता, लॉक खोल के अगर निकाल देता है तो सारे बच्चों के ऊपर मुसीबत आ सकती है। तो द टीचर हैज टेकन द राइट डिसीजन दैट
Why are the school? Why are the cows in the school, Mr. Kaira? Why are the cows in the school? Is that the place to keep cows? आप पाठशाला में गाय को क्यों बंद किया रखा है?
आई एम सेइंग व्हाई इट इज, ये ना तो ये गवर्नमेंट पॉलिसीज में है, ना किसी गवर्नमेंट ऑफिसर ने ऐसा किया है। अगर ऐसा हुआ है तो उसकी इंक्वायरी करके कर रहे हैं। अब गांव की समस्या, जो मुख्य समस्या है वो यहाँ से है कि गाय जब दूध देती है तो लोग उसको घर में रखते हैं, वो 80-90 रुपया पर डे कमा के देती है। जब वो समय आता है जब गाय छूट जाती है, when she is not able to give you the milk, it's costing at least 60 rupees a day every day. So therefore the people, they don't like to keep. Now the question is when you cannot kill a lion, when you cannot hunt a deer, जब आप तितर और बतेर का शिकार नहीं कर सकते, उसे मार नहीं सकते, how can you slaughter a guy? How can you slaughter cow? So it's very simple. The rule is very correct.
So I just want to disagree with Vijay Kaira here. One second, Mr. Kaira, listen to the evidence.
बंद की गई है, बिल्कुल ठीक की गई है। अब सवाल उठता है कि ऐसा इंसिडेंट,
because lion is an endangered species, cows are a growing species.
एक मिनट, आप एविडेंस सुन लीजिए विजय जी, आप एविडेंस सुन लीजिए। एक मिनट, आप सुन लीजिए। विजय Kaira of the BJP, listen to the evidence.
Let me complete my.
One second, listen to the evidence. In Bulandshahr, the government school has been used to keep cattle. The children are outside. In Kanpur, owners of stray cattle which cause death on the roads will be prosecuted. They've now locked up the children in. They've locked up the cows in the school.
Yes, I have heard that.
Auraiya district, Uttar Pradesh. Farmers barged into the village school and locked up the cattle. Mahavla in Badalpur.
I have heard Shahjahanpur, Chandoli and all that.
Yes.
I have heard.
Should I read the rest? There are more incidents. In Agra.
But do you?
In Kanpur. In Kanpur district,
yes,
Binnu
yes,
town.
I have heard, but
now listen to the teachers and the students, Mr.
I have
Vijay.
heard that. Let me
Can we play that out, please? One second. Listen to the evidence first before you decide that we've taken a wrong stand. Listen to what the teachers and the students of your state are saying.
यहाँ पे आज आप देख रहे हैं कि गांव वालों द्वारा जितने भी बछड़े और गुजार वे यहाँ पे घुसा दिए गए हैं, जिससे बच्चों की पढ़ाई आज बाधित हो गई और बच्चे दल में घुस तक नहीं पाए।
3 नौसती आ रहे हैं और हम ताला भरा है, यहाँ पर बैग लेकर आ रहे हैं और लौट जा रहे हैं। अंदर जाएं तो 60 लोग मारे, इसलिए हम सब बाहर आके लौट जाते हैं। यहाँ पर से ढाई चौपट हो रही है हमारी सबकी, इसलिए हम 2 रोसती आ भी नहीं रहे हैं। हम तो चाहते हैं कि इनके ऊपर कोई कार्रवाई करे और इनको लेके जाएं ताकि हम लोग पढ़ पाएँ।
ये स्कूल टाइम में जब हम यहाँ पर आए हैं तो ग्रामीणों ने जो है गाय अंदर बंद करके और ताला लगा दिया बाहर, तो इस वजह से बच्चे बाहर पड़ गए।
गाय कब बंद की थी ग्रामीणों ने?
कल तो अवकाश था रविवार का, और मेरे ख्याल से ये जानकारी है 8 बजे। अच्छा, सुबह 8 बजे करीब।
Mr. V.N. Rai, former DGP Uttar Pradesh. Mr. Rai, you're familiar with the state of Uttar Pradesh. Please tell me, is this a new? Do you agree with the BJP spokesperson who says that we have possibly misrepresented the situation, that the government has nothing to do with this?
I simply don't agree. This is simply preposterous. This is one of the classic examples of the misplaced priorities. You are looking after cows, but you are not able to look after your children. You see the budget of UP for education, for health care, that they are not able to do. And then it is a fight between finite and infinite. You have limited land, you have limited resources, but you will have infinite number of cattle. How will you cater them? A calf or a cow lives for 25 years. So you mean to say that for 25 years the state will feed them? It is simply preposterous, laughable, ridiculous. But since it is, as one of the panelists rightly said, it is related to the politics. But a day will come when BJP will realize that it is going to be counterproductive. You may get votes for votes on the name of cows or cow slaughter or whatever, beef or whatever you say, but the moment you realize that it is going to be a counterproductive, you will become a different person. So this is all preposterous. A government should not think of the cattle. The cattle trade should be normalized. After all, 2-3 years back, there was no problem. And India is not only Uttar Pradesh. India is Goa, India is Maharashtra, India is Kerala, India is Tamil Nadu. Everywhere, let me say, if somebody is offended, I am very sorry, but beef is available everywhere. You visit, after all, Goa is also ruled by BJP. Why don't they ban beef there? So this is simply preposterous and this is simply ridiculous. You cannot provide food and shelter and you cannot look after a cattle for 18-20 years when it is not productive to you. It is not, the farmer is not getting anything in return. How can you expect a farmer to look after a cow or a bull for it, not one bull or one cow, because every second year, third year, another new cow or new bull will be there. So this is simply preposterous.
It's simply preposterous. We have other guests who haven't spoken yet. Abdul Gandhi from the Samajwadi Party. What is your response to the BJP's justification that this is not the government's doing?
Faye, I'm very sorry to say that the whole arguments of BJP's spokespersons, they are premised on falsehood and misrepresentation. Earlier in the debate, I was on a channel in the debate where another BJP spokesperson, he accepted that yes, there is a problem and the government is working in relation to that. But now the present spokesperson is saying that there is no problem and you are misrepresenting it. So I'm very sorry to say that I think he's not aware about this whole problem which is being created by the stray cattle menace in Uttar Pradesh. The farmers are being harassed day and night. They are, watching their field, they are guarding their field from these stray cattle. So the problem is, becoming huge by every day, and the government response is not adequate. The government said that, by 10th January, all stray cattle will be, in shelter homes or in temporary shelter homes. But we still see how these stray cattle, they are harassing the farmers and what farmers will do. We are saying that everything, we are blaming the farmers only, that farmers should keep them, farmers should not leave them. But what, after the mechanization of the things which are used in agriculture, the dependence on cow or bull, it has reduced to a very huge extent, and now we do not require bulls or the cattle in the farms. So what other option is left to the farmer? So he will certainly leave after the productive age of the cows, and the productive age is till 10 years only. So after 10 years, the farmers will leave it. Now, this is the responsibility of the different stakeholders, including the government, the NGOs, the political parties, to sit together and find the solution. Because I know that this problem is a very sensitive, very important, but it is assuming the very highest proportions. So I think that this problem should be tackled in a very intelligent way. Otherwise, I don't know what will happen.
Vijay Kaira, I have a quick question for you. The Uttar Pradesh government levied a cow cess, Gau Kalyan cess of 0.5% on excise. Also, this was introduced in Mandi Parishads, which you actually put a burden on farmers that are already struggling. So since you've decided to collect money from the citizens to look after cows, why are these cows still in schools and hospitals and government offices? Why haven't you found and created proper gaushalas for these cows?
Listen to me. Yes, madam, listen to me. I only objected to one thing, that schools are not being neglected or they are not being used for the cow shelters. I just wanted to say that. Now, what you asked me now, all over the state, in each and every district, in each and every block, cow shelters have already been constructed. Now, I will request you just to go there. For yesterday, I was in Lalitpur district in Kalyanpura, where 100 acres land, it has been covered for the cow shelter. and it has been used like this. The 50% will be for growing the grass for them, 50% they will be living there. Then another, after that 15 days, they will be eating other part of it, and we will grow the grass over there and shift the cows on the other side of the 50 acres. So it will be, they said that it will be non-productive.
Have you trained the animals like that? Have you trained these cattle like that, that 50% they will graze now?
No, let him finish speaking, please.
Listen to me, sir, listen to me.
No, let him finish speaking.
Now,
Vijayji, go ahead,
listen
please.
to me.
Go ahead.
Now, there the industries are coming up to manufacture the agarbattis and other things from the cow dung. So it's going to be highly productive.
Mr.
And you are saying it is non-productive.
Vijay Kaira, here's my question to you.
Give you milk.
Mr. Kaira, you said you went to Kalyanpura 3 days ago and you looked at, you visited the cow shelter that is being created in Kalyanpura. Did you visit the school in Kalyanpura?
Yes, I visited a number of schools. There is no school. Madam, I assure you, no school is being used for cow shelter by the government, or there are any instructions. If somebody has closed on some Sunday, they have locked up some cows or some cattle inside the schools. That's different. We are inquiring it and we are going to punish them.
Inquiry is not good enough. We have evidence. We have people speaking to us on camera. We have school teachers and principals telling us they are not able to open the school. Let me count the number of, obviously Bulandshahr, which you saw today. We also have Mahaval, we have Banisand, we have Nagwa, we have Anandpur, we have Kanpur, 2 incidents in Kanpur, 1 incident in Agra, 1 incident in Aligarh.
Yes.
Why aren't you taking this seriously? I don't understand. What will we achieve by denying the problem? I'm not saying that the government has locked up the cows in the school. I'm saying the government has not found a solution.
No, madam. Yes, a solution is already there.
What is the solution?
You have seen 10 places, but you have not seen the 2,000 places. There are 1,500 blocks.
No, 10
so it's not happening all over.
10 schools where children are not studying is a violation of their right to education. Every single child has a valid right to education. Don't tell me that there are 10 schools that are not functioning. Look at the remaining 100. I'm upset about the 10 schools that are not functioning.
Speak as if, madam, as you have allowed the Samajwadi man to speak longer, you have allowed another person to speak longer without interruption. Will you allow me to speak? Or if you want to speak like this, okay, I'm sitting down.
Okay, fine. Explain to me, Vijayji.
If I say something, you have to immediately cut it off before I complete it. I am saying there are more than 1,500 blocks in Uttar Pradesh. It's the largest Pradesh. It might happen in few places, but then we are taking the action for that. It's not that the government is doing that, or the principal is doing that, or the SDM is doing that. Some farmers, they are in trouble. Yes, we agree. These abandoned governments, they are eating some crops. They are protecting them. We have made shelters all over. There's a lot of budget being spent over there, and at least more than 2,000 places have already got these shelter places for the cows and other cattle like that. But then if it happens, some school, some problems of farmers, we are taking it care. It's not that we are not neglecting our students or their studies. It's not like that. It has happened. The action has already been taken immediately.
Okay.
We are doing very well. The Yogi government is doing very well. The shelters have been made all over. You see the other part of, please, yes.
Yes. You said you are taking action. And you are taking action, from what I understand, is the fact that you're saying that you're creating gaushalas across Uttar Pradesh. Tell me now, does the Uttar Pradesh government have a clear study of the number of school campuses or the number of school buildings that are being used to house cows at this point? Do you know for sure, in data, at this point today, how many schools are being used to keep cows? By farmers, local administration, whoever might have made that decision. Have you done a study?
I'm telling you, officially, no, madam, officially no schools are being used. I'm telling you, some problem might corrupt up in some village or some places. Might be 5 places, 10 places, 12 places.
No, that's my point. Mr. Vijay Kaira, you said might be in some places, might be in 5 places, might be in 10 places, might be in 12 places. As the government of Uttar Pradesh, who according to you is swiftly taking action, have you made a study of how many places these problems have cropped up in? Which are these schools? And have you started working on it? Do you at least know how many schools?
Yes. Yes,
How many?
yes, definitely. All the district magistrate and the SDMs have already been ordered to find out these places, if at all they are being used anywhere, or by chance or by accident, by any reason. The district magistrate already
Okay, so
making
tell
a
me how
study
many
and
schools are being used for
correcting
cows
those
right
things wherever it happened.
How many schools are being used for cows right now?
Well, right now I cannot give you number, but they cannot be more than 20 or 50. That I'm very sure about.
20 or 50?
I'm very sure
20 or 15 or 20 or 50, 51
because I have
or 15?
I am telling that there may be. I'm just telling there may be few. There may be some few, maybe a dozen or like that. No,
Okay.
it's not that
So
all
between
over the
12
districts
and
it's
20?
there. It's not in Jhansi, it's not in Bundelkhand, because there were places I visited already.
So between 12 and 20 on an average, there would be 100 students in each school?
No. I'm
So about 1,200 students right now being denied their rights to education in Uttar Pradesh, is that correct?
For that you cannot ignore 2,000 other places where the shelters have already been constructed. And here also shelters have been constructed.
Let me just ask the question again, Mr. Khaira. Let me ask the question again. You said it might be between 12 and 15 schools. Now let's assume that every school has 100 students. So that would be between 1,200 and 1,500 students in Uttar Pradesh that are currently being denied their right to education, which I will remind you is a fundamental right to look after cows. Is that correct?
It might be, madam, for a day or two. It might be for a day or two, not for longer, not for a week. Yes, it could be like that. If some incidents happen in some village.
Okay. I'm glad that you take the right to education so lightly, given that it is a fundamental right. But before I take this to Sharad Pradhan, let's just play out those sound bites from farmers about whether or not the farmers believe that this is a day or two and not more than a week.
ये गाय बिजारू से गांव से सब गांव परेशान है, फिसल खा रहे हैं। हमने सर में इकट्ठा करके पूरे गांव की पंचायत हुई। जब तक हम स्कूल नहीं खुलने देंगे, जब तक प्रशासन आ गए, इन बिजारू को यहाँ से कोई व्यवस्था नहीं करता, जब तक स्कूल बंद रहेगा। गांव वालों का सब पंचायत में निर्णय हुआ है।
छुट्टा जानवर से सब पूरा खेत भर चढ़ जाता है, सब परेशानी ही परेशानी है।
हम लोग यही चाहते हैं कि छुट्टा जानवर के लिए या गौशाला बन जाए या कानी हौज बन जाए, छुट्टा जानवर चले जाएं, हम लोगों के लिए फायदा हो जाए।
जब तक प्रशासन इन गायों को लेके नहीं जाती, स्कूल बंद रहेगी। मिस्टर शरद प्रधान, does it sound like a 1 day, 2 day violation of the fundamental right to education, or is it likely to go on for much longer?
Because it's as simple as that, you know, for the BJP, the children are in schools, their education is not going to get them votes. But the cow may, the hope that the cow may get them votes. Can you imagine? We have seen how the UP chief minister prioritizes things. You know, we have seen the violence in Bulandshahr where the cop was killed, the police inspector was killed, and the chief minister went on record to say that the police inspector's killing was an accident, while his emphasis was on digging out who were the cow involved in cow slaughter, when the fact of the matter was that those cows were dead cows which had been chopped and systematically dumped in a cane field so that a riot could be incited. The whole problem lies there. They have to understand that when if nobody, the best of their cow bhakts and the so-called cow protectors, they dump the cows on the streets or dump them in Bundelkhand or in forests to be devoured by the wild cats, simply the moment they stop giving milk. So these people who talk about being great cow bhakts and worshipping the cow are the ones who dump the cows to be devoured by wild animals. So unless this politics, the game of politics, the chief minister is so obsessed with the cow, and let me tell you of the state of these so-called gaushalas. In Lucknow, there is a gaushala which was started by the previous government during Akhlesh's time, and now it has the capacity of the gaushala has been increased to 6,000. There are already more than 10,000 cows there. Can you imagine the state of those poor cows?
Yes. In fact, Mr. Pradhan, I have to bring in a very important voice right now. Cows. Yes, a very important voice. Gauri Maliki has been kind enough to join us. She's an animal rights activist, and she was part of the committee appointed by the Supreme Court to advise the government of Uttar Pradesh. And the reason why Ms. Maliki's voice is so important is because she has solutions. And my worry has always been that unless we accept we have a problem, how can we work on solutions? Ms. Muleki, what would be your advice right now to the government of Uttar Pradesh on how to solve this problem? Because in my mind, the first priority would be to open the schools so children can go back to their education. But how do we get there, and what should the government do?
Well, you cannot have a solution tomorrow or day after or next week. That's one thing for sure. So we have created this monster of bad agricultural practices over decades in India, and we are facing the brunt of it. Why Uttar Pradesh? Because Uttar Pradesh is one of the most densely populated states in the country, and there the effects are most visible. We have certain provisions in the Constitution of India. We have to safeguard our cattle. It's a state subject. Every state can have its own priorities and can make its own laws to slaughter or not to slaughter. I was actually offended by the suggestion of one gentleman on the panel who said that beef should be available everywhere. I mean, that's absolutely offensive to states such as Uttar Pradesh, where you cannot bring in the culture of West Bengal or Kerala. However, in Uttar Pradesh, right now we see a rise in the cattle population. That has been primarily because illegal smuggling of cattle and illegal slaughter of cattle to Bangladesh has been stopped. Now that has been stopped by the orders of the Honorable Supreme Court. There are further orders from the Supreme Court to deal with the cattle, that is to hold the dairy people accountable for the cattle that they are letting out. This is an absolute, example of greed of humankind. We have encroached upon Gochar Bhumi, where nobody is worried. We have encroached upon forests, nobody is worried. One school gets disturbed for a day because these same people who are rearing the cattle and they're letting them out after they don't want them are shutting them into schools just for a nuisance. And this is total mischief. These same Gram Pradhans who are giving bayans on your channel are the ones who are the people behind this mischief, and they're making it a political gimmick to witch hunt the ruling party for no reason whatsoever. In my opinion, the ruling party as of now is moving towards a solution by creating gaushalas. However, there must be the price of keeping this cattle must be passed on legally and logically and ethically, should be passed on to the consumer of the dairy industry. Because of them, we have this cattle on the road. No dairy keeps any dry cattle on their premises. However, there is a settled principle in law that the polluter has to pay. These cattle don't grow on the road. They are discarded from dairies by the farmers, and then the farmers become victims ki ye to mera khet kha rahe hain. Now, how can you have your cake and eat it too? If you want to run a dairy, if you want to earn money from it, then you have to look after the cattle also. And if it costs you money, please charge the customer more for the milk so that you can, pay for the upkeep of the retired animals. Every industry is required to do that.
Gauriji, I respect everything you said, except
throw out the byproduct and hold the government responsible for that byproduct.
Okay, I respect everything you said, except the point where you say just. Okay, all right.
People die on the streets.
Except the point of one or two schools, one school being disturbed for a day. For me, schools being disturbed for a day should be a red flag for any government.
I know,
we cannot afford it. In this
a lot of
country, we
things are
cannot afford
sacrosanct.
for children not to be
Education
in school
is
every
sacrosanct,
day.
wildlife
It's a
is
violation of that
sacrosanct, everything is
fundamental right. I don't care about whose emotions come in the way of that. That fundamental right in our constitution is over and above everything else. VN Rai, answer this question,
the
please.
Farmers who conducted this mischief, they should be put behind bars. They are the ones who have been mischievous. They are the ones who are playing a political gimmick. The government has not passed an order to put cows in the schools.
So, okay, all right. So because the government has not passed an order, the government cannot be held responsible. That's the point. One second, VN Rai will respond. Mr. Rai, go ahead.
Very amusing.
Let the picture. Enforcement agency now.
Mr. Rai, go ahead, please.
I say that this is a very interesting argument, very amusing argument. It is not only the question of the cows, it is a question of bulls also. And bulls and cows once were part of our agricultural economy. They were agrarian economy, rather the backbone of the agrarian economy. Now bulls are useless. Nobody uses bull for either plowing or any other
So you want to
way.
eat them?
And cows also,
Bullock
you
cart of farming,
cannot
yes.
punish a farmer who has reared a cow, and after say 7-8 years the cow becomes dry, and you tell him that now you have to pay. This is very funny argument. I feel only pity for these arguments. The thing is that
let's take the
it is a
question to
battle
the
between
farmer.
finite and infinite.
Let's take the question to the farmer. We have a representative of Swaraj India with us, Rajiv ji. Rajiv ji, just 1 second, 1 second. No cross talk, please. 1 second. Gauri, 1 second, 1 second. Calm down, calm down. I will come back to you. I will come back to everybody for responses. But my question is to Rajiv Adityanath of Swaraj India. Rajiv ji, अभी आपने सुना गौरी मुलेकी का कहना है कि ये जो गाय को पाठशाला के अंदर जो बंद किया जा रहा है, ये किसानों की बदमाशी है. ये चंद किसानों की बदमाशी है जो कर रहे हैं. They're doing it to make the BJP look bad. क्या आप समझा सकते हो हमें कि आप क्या मानते हैं कि किसानों की बदमाशी?
नहीं, देखिए, इसमें पूरी किसानों की त्रासदी को समझने का प्रयास शायद किसी ने किया नहीं है. जो पशु प्रेमी हैं, जिनमें गौरी जी भी शामिल हैं, वो सब लोग जानते हैं कि जब भी कोई पशु को अपने घर में पालता है, रखता है, तो उसके साथ में एक बड़ा लगाव हो जाता है. अब आप सोचिए उस किसान के बारे में जिसने 5, 7, 8, 10 साल तक एक गाय को अपने परिवार में रखा, अपने परिवार का सदस्य मान के रखा, और उसके बाद उसे छोड़ देना पड़ता है. ये पहला किसान है. दूसरा किसान वो है जिसकी खेतों को यही गायें और बैल जाकर के चर लेते हैं. वो दूसरा भी किसान है. ये तीसरा भी किसान ही है जिसके बच्चे स्कूल में पढ़ते हैं और गायों के कारण उसके बच्चों को शिक्षा उसकी बाधित हो रही है. तो दिक्कत यही है असल में कि हम जो मूल समस्या है उससे कहीं बार बार भटकने की प्रवृत्ति ये हम लोगों के अंदर है. जैसा मैंने पहले कहा कि इसमें आज की तारीख में भी गोवंश हमारी कृषि व्यवस्था का, अर्थव्यवस्था का एक ठीक ठाक सा आधार बन सकता है. बहुत सारे प्रयास हो रहे हैं. जीरो बजट खेती जिसका मैंने जिक्र किया, नेचुरल फार्मिंग का जिक्र किया, और ये ध्यान रहे कि इसमें जो गाय है वो सिर्फ खेती में खाद के लिए ही ये गोवंश का इस्तेमाल नहीं है, बल्कि बहुत बड़े पैमाने पर ईंधन के लिए इसका इस्तेमाल हो सकता है. इसके लिए लेकिन आवश्यक है कि हम गोपालकों को कुछ अतिरिक्त सुविधाएं दें. इसके लिए ज़रूरी है कि हम जो खेती, जिस तरह से घाटे की खेती बनती जा रही है, अभी होता क्या था कि एक खेती में बहुत सारी, आप अगर देखें कि जो खाली पड़ी हुई ज़मीनों का रकबा है, जिन ज़मीनों पर खेती नहीं हो रही है, वो लगातार हर फसल के साथ में बढ़ता चला जा रहा है. और ये इसलिए हो रहा है कि खेती एक फ़ायदे का सौदा नहीं रही. तो हमें इस तरह की कोशिशें भी करनी पड़ेंगी. छोटा सा सवाल हमारे सामने है, लेकिन इसके कोई दीर्घकालिक इसके उपाय ज़रूर ढूंढने पड़ेंगे.
Sharad Pradhan, do you want to respond?
Yeah. Well, I believe that this, whatever this gentleman says, he's fine. It's fine. But the fact of the matter is, you cannot have gaushalas. The cows will continue to proliferate. And let me tell you, the way things are in Uttar Pradesh, the kind of money that is being allocated for the gaushalas, 50% of it will get pilfered, because pilferage of money is a habit with successive governments, irrespective of who is ruling, and that nobody can check. And let me tell you, as I pointed out earlier, it went unnoticed that out of the capacity of the Lucknow Gaushala is 6,000, and there are already 10,000. Every day the numbers go up. Where are you going to contain? And is it possible within the means of the governments, of any government, to sustain sustain these cows? They have to find some other solution. And you cannot penalize somebody who is a poor farmer who keeps a cow to earn, because it's a part of the agrarian economy. He keeps the cow so that he can earn some money out of it. And once it stops doing it, he doesn't have the resources to feed his own family. How the hell does he feed the cow? And to penalize that man, this is ridiculous. So this kind of politics behind the cow has to stop. The whole problem will get solved. After all, buffalo is allowed to be slaughtered. And let me also tell you, when they talk of shutting down illegal slaughterhouses, this UP government has never done anything to punish those guys who were responsible for these running the illegal slaughterhouses. I asked the Chief Minister myself whether he knew that it was not possible to run any illegal slaughterhouse without the patronage of the government. And he agreed that. But whether he has taken any action, zero. So whether it's all double standards, it is being done only to play to the gallery so that they can mint money out of it.
Yes. All right,
they just get votes, get a harvest of votes in the name of the cow.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I would like to respond to this totally asinine comment. First of all, let me rebut that Kanha Gaushala thing of Lucknow. There was one Gaushala in Lucknow that had the capacity of 6,000 cattle. Earlier, during the previous regime, about 1,000 cattle was being kept over there. It was being run by the Chief Minister's relative, and that was the only Gaushala in the whole state of UP which was getting money from the state government, which was to the tune of 1 crore. Now there are more than 80 Gaushalas like that all over UP, and recently in the past couple of months more have been made. The Lucknow Gaushala, which was in a terrible state to the previous regime, has turned out to be fantastic as on today. It not only keeps cattle, but it also makes a lot of products with dung, such as manure, which is sold to all over the place. It's available for people, and that is what is sustaining the cattle. Please note that India spends in excess of 1 lakh crore every year by the central government subsidy for chemical fertilizers, while we are sitting on our livestock population and not making use of dung. We are the biggest fools in the world for not using our livestock for creating a better agricultural community. We are losing all these farmlands to chemicals that we are putting in.
I want to bring the conversation back. One second.
They are not being tapped intelligently.
All right.
That's what the UP government is trying to do at the moment.
That is what
that's
human
the
beings
model
are also
that's being
dying because of hunger.
All right, no cross talk, please. I just want to draw the attention of our audience to the visuals that were running on the screen of the police looking after cows. Now, the police, the local administration, the district administration, the local corporations have now been enlisted and been tasked with the job of rounding up the cows and looking after them, because otherwise this is what will happen. The farmers will put the cows in schools and lock them up because they don't want them in their fields. Now, here's my question to V.N. Rai, former DGP of Uttar Pradesh. So he was the head of the police for the state at one point. Mr. Rai, there is an animal husbandry department in every state government that is equipped for this sort of job, because they have enlisted with them trained veterinarians who can actually round up animals, who can look after animals, who can care for them. Is it the job of the police? Is it the job of the local administration, of the district administration, of the corporations to look after cows, to round up cows, to feed them and to walk them?
Dekhiye, police is neither meant for it, police is neither equipped for it, police is not trained for it. It is simply ridiculous. You have entrusted this job to police because this is the only disciplined organization left in the state. When you order thousands of policemen, they get involved in these things, but they are not meant for it. So you don't entrust this job to the animal husbandry department because you know that they will be miserable failure. Only policemen can do all these things, but this is poor. This is a very poor sight, seeing policemen chasing the cattle. They are not able to chase the criminals, and this is very unfortunate that for last 1.5 years or 2 years, this government has turned police into a band of assassins. They are asking policemen to kill criminals, and they are asking policemen to do all sort of things which are not legal, which are totally against the spirit of the Constitution. And now they have given this task to policemen. I simply pity for them.
No, but you know, I know Vijay Kaira of the BJP, you will object to this, but my question to you is it really, and the visual that you're looking at on your screen of 5 police officers tying up a cow and trying to overcome it or overpower it, is that how the animal should really be caught? What will be the state of that animal? These are not trained people. They don't know how to treat an animal. They've tied legs, both legs of the animal together, brought it down. Is that how the animal should be caught? Are they trained to do this job? Should the Uttar Pradesh police be doing this? Is this the action that your government is going to take, Mr. Kaira?
They are not meant for it. They are not trained for it. Acha, you are asking somebody else. Yeah.
No, I'm asking Mr.
The
Vijay
police
Kaira
is
of the
not
BJP.
doing that job. It's not the job of the police. There is a separate department for that. So far, the district administration is concerned. They have to be involved. When you are going to start a big scheme, you require the district administration to be involved because they are the people who can get the job done faster. If you just leave on a block level officer or some other officer, then it will take time just to take it faster, just to get the shelter houses to be constructed fastly. The district administration has been involved.
No. I'm talking about capturing or rounding up the cows, Mr. Kaira. The Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister made a statement on the 1st of January and gave the police a target, saying by the 10th of January, every stray cow should be caught and delivered to the Gaushala. Is that the job of the police? Is the police trained for the job? Mr. Kaira, my question is to you.
Police only come in the picture when there is any incidence. It's to me, na?
Yes.
You're asking me, madam?
Yes, I'm asking you.
Hello?
Mr. Kaira, I'm asking you again.
This I'm saying it's not the job of the police. The police is not involved. This task has not been allotted to them. The only thing, whenever there are some incidences, we find that something may happen, then when the police has to go there for just for the purpose of law and order. I told you, this has been allotted to district administration, and the collector is looking after this work very well, and the shelters have been constructed all over.
Unfortunately,
because the number of cattle may be more, maybe in the whole country, if you know, there are more than 50 lakhs.
But how come the problem is only happening in Uttar Pradesh? All right, we've run out of time. We've run out of time, Mr. Kaira. Unfortunately, you're not fully informed of what's going on in Uttar Pradesh. On the 2nd of January, the Chief Minister, in fact, entrusted the police of the state with the job of rounding up all of the stray cattle that were causing problems to not just farmers, but also citizens, because there were run-ins between animals and human beings. The stray cows were butting human beings. They were afraid. There are a lot of people who are afraid of cattle that they encounter on the street. The farmers were upset that their crop was being eaten up. The cattle has now wound up in schools, and that is where the serious problem arises. You cannot have children sitting outside of schools while school campuses and government hospitals are being used to house cattle. The right to education is a fundamental right, and the government of Uttar Pradesh must do a better job of making sure that that right is upheld for every single child. So you can't turn around saying this must be 15 schools or 20 schools for 2 or 3 days. That's not a good enough answer. Find a solution, and find a solution immediately. You are currently violating the fundamental rights of these children, and that simply will not do. Thanks for watching.